Hey, Courtney, thanks so much for submitting a question. Courtney is asking, she says, I understand the difference between indicating and not indicating on camera, but I just can't help myself whenever I'm in front of the camera. How do I stop it? That's a great question. It's really, really hard to get out of your mind that the camera's there, right? And for anybody who's watching this, I have an in-depth article that I'm linking to below. And Courtney was referencing something in the article where I talk about the whole idea of indication or giving off a performance versus a non-performance type of, acting. So if you want to sort of have some context to this, feel free to read the article below. Anyway, so how do you stop and get the camera out of your head so that you can just flow and be in the moment? Well, if there were a certain secret and magic trick to this, I feel like everybody would be a much better actor. However, I'm going to attempt to give you a few really, useful techniques that you can try, okay? There's a few different things that you can test out that will hopefully get your mind off of the camera, and try them each, see which one or two work the best for you, all right? So first thing that I have to share is what I call pride words, okay? And these are 3 words that describe your own deep-seated best personality traits, okay? So in the description below, I'm linking to an article where I show you exactly how to find those pride words, all right? And what you're going to do is, let's pretend that you do the process and you discover that your 3 pride words are intelligent, loving, and honest, okay? Just, I don't know, random words, maybe that describe you, Courtney, maybe not, I don't know, but we're going to go with them. And what you would do is, right before the performance begins or your audition begins or whatever, you just close your eyes for a second to get into character. But rather than getting into character, what you're going to be doing is you're going to focus on each one of those words and just feel it for a moment. So let's pretend your first one is loving. So you feel loving. And then intelligent. And kind. And then you open and dive right into character, or dive right into the performance. Now, I don't know, I did not remember the words, so those 3 that I just randomly said were probably different than the first 3 that I said to you as examples, but I apologize for that. Anyway, whatever your 3 pride words are, you'll remember what they are and you won't forget them like I just did. You close your eyes, you'll think of those words, and what's going to happen is you're going to realize that suddenly you feel way more centered and grounded. And nervousness and other areas of focus that your mind are on, which might have a second ago been on the camera, are going to be gone, and suddenly you're just going to be feeling these emotions, these words, and then when you go into perform, you're just going to be in the scene. So that's one technique that you can use, and it's worked really well for actors who want to get, rid of nerves and other things. Now, another one is to really focus on the other person in the scene, okay? So you're going to essentially close your eyes for a second, just the same, and you're going to focus on giving them all of your attention and energy, knowing that they're also doing the scene with you. And I want you to sort of pretend that the scene is even more so about them and that the camera's focused on them than it is about you, even if you're the main character, okay? So just going to close your eyes and imagine that everything is focused on the other actor right now, and you're just there to give them what they need, okay? And when you open, you're all about and fully connected to the other character, okay? Think that the scene is totally about them. Even if the camera's pointing right at you, it doesn't matter, because they're the most important part of the scene and you're there for them. That should help you get fully immersed in the character and not be thinking about the camera. Okay, so another technique, the last one, number 3, is to focus on your character's objective fully, okay? Now you can combine these techniques together, it's really up to you, but when I say focusing on your character's objective, you should know before the scene starts what your primary goal as a character is. And so what you want to do is close your eyes and think about that. So let's pretend that your objective is to make the other character feel stupid. I don't know. So let's pretend that that's your goal, is to make the other character feel stupid with what you're saying. So you close your eyes and you think, okay, I want to make this person feel stupid. Make them feel stupid. And now you just go in and you do the scene, okay? And what's going to happen is you're going to be so much more focused on your objective that you're not even going to be thinking about the camera, okay? So finally, like, remember, when they call action, it sort of, in a sense, means that all the rules are thrown out the window, and it doesn't necessarily matter if you do something slightly wrong, okay? Every actor thinks the opposite. They're like, oh shoot, they called action, now it's time to get serious. Everything has to be perfect. But it's actually the opposite. It's like everything needs to be perfect when the director's working with you and when you're like really listening to them and taking their direction and stuff. But when they say action, now it's your time. You can just do things and you live in the moment and forget about what's happening around you and stuff. It doesn't matter if you screw up while they're filming, because whatever screw up you do, as long as you're thinking it doesn't matter so much, it's going to be more of a natural screw up than what your brain is going to try to sabotage you doing because you're thinking about the camera that's focused on you, okay? So it's much better to screw up but be living 100% in the moment and responding authentically than it is to screw up because you started worrying that the camera was looking at you, if that makes sense, okay? Don't worry about it, because they'll tell you afterwards if you did something wrong, and they'll give you those general notes to adjust, and that's when you have to be like professional and paying attention and everything. But then once they call action, it's like, hey, this is your turn. Everybody else, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and do it, okay? Now, one final thing to keep in mind, okay? And this is just a general note for you, but some directors, especially if you're auditioning for, like, you know, independent production, student film, stuff like that, and you're not yet working constantly in like major projects, some directors just aren't that good, to be honest, okay? They might give you what's called result direction, like, hey, I want you to be more sad. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? You know, like, sad? What, like you want me to pretend that my life is over and now I'm realizing that there's no hope ever again? Or am I sad that, like, I don't know, I dropped a pen a little while ago and now I can't find it and I need a pen and it's kind of annoying and I'm just like feeling sad about it. Like, what level of sadness, right? Direction like that. Or if a director who's bad is like saying, you know, okay, so I really like that performance, but next time you do it, I want you to make sure that you turn this way at this moment. I also want you to really like pretend that you're trying to instigate something and you're trying to attack him, okay? Also, try to slow down your line on this part. And by the way, if you can, I also want you to say the word hello with a bit more of surprise, okay? Now, in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh. And then in front of people, you're like, yeah, I think I got it. You're like, I don't know what this person just asked me to do. It was like 100 things at once, okay? So if you're ever dealing with a director who's not that good, it can be really easy to start getting in your own head and worrying about whether you're doing it right. So you, as a professional actor, need to sort of take on what I would consider to be a leadership role and tell the director, listen, I think I understand what you're asking for, but do you mind if I just take on 1 or 2 of your notes maximum for this next run through, and then add another note or another note after that, because I feel like I might not be able to do all of these things at once. Is that okay? Are you okay with that? And the director will not get mad unless they're a terrible person and you shouldn't be working with them anyway, and in that case it doesn't even matter. They will probably say, yeah, you know what, that's totally fine. Just do this one and this note for this take. Now what's happened is, rather than just like letting the whole situation control you and you freaking out about like them telling you too much and getting in your own head, you've simplified things for yourself. And directors appreciate actors who are honest with them and say, listen, like what you're telling me right now, I'm not 100%. It's really annoying for a director, and I can tell you this as being a filmmaker and film director myself. It's actually really annoying for a director who's trying to give direction to an actor and the actor keeps on not doing it properly. And even if I'm a terrible director, it's your job to tell me how I can better give you direction if you don't understand. At bare minimum, by telling them the truth and being honest and saying, listen, I don't understand. Do you mind explaining it in a different way? Don't just be a yes person and always say, oh yeah, sure, I got it. And then, you know, that's just like a candid general note that I think would be helpful for you. Now, all right. This video is getting a little bit long. Anyway, I attached a couple of links below. One is the article on Pride words. Okay, so you can learn all about how to find those Pride words and then use them for auditions and for performances. Another one is about natural acting, and then another one is about acting for film. Those are the two articles that you, I believe, initially referenced in your question to me. Finally, I'm attaching an article about the actors and characters' objective, just to kind of make sure that you're 100% clear on that, or anybody who's watching this can learn a little bit more about how to get clear on your objective, okay? I hope that my answer here helps you, okay? I know that that's like a really complicated thing. How do I get my, out of my own head when the camera's on me? And I'm all about trying to find like shortcuts and ways that kind of let you get the result that you're looking for without having to spend years and years sort of working towards it. Okay, use the shortcuts for now, and then hopefully that will help you kind of get there really naturally in the future. All right. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified whenever I upload more videos. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to email me a question.